Last time we met, I introduced the tests that prove the evidence for the truthfulness of the Book of Mormon to be false: time, history, and inspiration. So let's begin with these tests, shall we?
Certainly, we're ready.
The introduction of the Book of Mormon claims that it is comparable to, superior to, and in harmony with the Bible. If that is accurate, the timeline of the Book of Mormon should reflect the Bible's timeline. Would you agree?
Okay, we agree.
But it does not. The first inconsistency is in regard to Christ's atonement. The cross, which is where Christ shed his innocent blood for the sins of the world, was a defining moment. As stated in Hebrews 9:15-17, Jesus' blood was not only operative for those who lived in Jesus' day through today and into the future, but it also was retroactive for those who lived faithfully before the atonement. But it did not happen until the death of Christ in AD 33.
We can't disagree with any of that. So how does that affect the Book of Mormon?
In the book of Mosiah 4:2, there is a crowd of people saying, "Oh, have mercy and apply the atoning blood of Christ, that we may receive forgiveness of our sins, and our hearts may be purified, for we believe in Jesus Christ, the Son of God."
And what is the problem with that statement?
If you look at the footnote, it says about 124 BC. How is it that they appealed to have Jesus' blood applied to them if it had not yet been shed?
I never noticed that before.
The second timeline discrepancy is in the establishment of the church. In Matthew 16:18, we find the very first usage of the word church in the Bible.
Jesus said, "And I say unto thee, Thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it."
Notice, Jesus promised to establish his church in the future, meaning after his death and resurrection.
That makes sense.
According to the Book of Mormon, Mosiah 18:17, it says, "And they were called the Church of God, or the Church of Christ, from that time forward. And it came to pass that whosoever was baptized by the power and authority of God was added to his church." What does it have for the date of that passage?
It says about 147 BC.
The New Testament says that in 32 AD, the church didn't even exist yet. It wouldn't exist for about another year after the resurrection of Christ. The Book of Mormon claims that even before Christ came to this earth, people were being added to the church. Which one is it?
I'm not sure.
Another discrepancy has to do with when and where the disciples of Jesus were named. The first time the Bible refers to the church is in Acts 2:47, after the day of Pentecost. Eventually, they receive a new name. Will you please read Acts 11:26?
"And it came to pass that a whole year they assembled themselves with the church, and taught much people. And the disciples were called Christians, first in Antioch."
The first time disciples were ever called Christians was in Antioch around 42 AD. The Book of Mormon has a different story. Please read Alma 46:15.
"And those who did not belong to the church were faithful. Yea, all those who were true believers in Christ took upon them gladly the name of Christ, or Christians as they were called, because of their belief in Christ who should come." About 73 BC.
So, which one is it? The Bible, 42 AD, or the Book of Mormon, 73 BC? The Book of Mormon claims to be congruent with the Bible, but when put to the test, it doesn't hold true.
Don't forget to tap that subscribe button and hit the bell icon to be notified of our upcoming episodes. Did you know we have a website? Go to talkingtomormons.com, where you can view and read all our articles, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Check out the description below to learn more.